Hey everyone! Ever wondered about the crazy things people have done in the name of religion? Today we'll dive into 10 of the dumbest things humanity has done for God. From banning cats and causing the Black Death to the brutal Crusades, you won't believe these stories. First up, we have medieval Europe's fear of cats. Back in the day, people believed cats were witches' familiars and symbols of evil. So they started killing them en masse. What they didn't realize was that these cats were keeping the rat population in check. With fewer cats around, the rats thrived, carrying fleas that spread the bubonic plague. The result? The Black Death, which wiped out nearly a third of Europe's population. Talk about a catastrophic mistake. Next, let's talk about the Crusades, a series of religious wars initiated by the Christian states of Europe. Starting in 1096, these campaigns aimed to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. But instead of a holy mission, it turned into a series of brutal battles and massacres. Jerusalem was captured in 1099 with thousands of Muslims and Jews slaughtered. The Crusades left a legacy of bitterness and violence that shaped Christian-Muslim relations for centuries. Definitely not humanity's finest hour. The Inquisition, the Church's way of keeping the faith. Established to combat heresy, it became infamous for its brutal methods. Accused heretics faced torture, imprisonment, and often execution. One of the most famous cases was Galileo, who was tried for his support of heliocentrism. The Inquisition cast a long, dark shadow over intellectual freedom and scientific progress. Witch burnings were another dark chapter. During the Middle Ages and Renaissance, thousands were executed for allegedly practicing witchcraft. The Malleus Maleficarum, a manual for hunting witches, fueled this hysteria. Many innocent people, mostly women, were burned at the stake. These hunts left lasting scars on communities, instilling fear and superstition that lasted for generations. In 1212, we had the Children's Crusade. Thousands of children set out on a mission to peacefully convert Muslims in the Holy Land. Led by a young shepherd named Stephen of Cloyes, they believed divine intervention would open the way. Sadly, many perished from starvation and exposure, while others were sold into slavery. A tragic and misguided venture that highlighted the naivety and desperation of the times. The Taiping Rebellion in China was led by Hong Xiuquan, who believed he was Jesus Christ's younger brother. This belief sparked a massive civil war from 1850 to 1864. Hong's vision of a heavenly kingdom led to a brutal conflict with the Qing dynasty. Over 20 million people died in this deadly mix of religious zeal and political ambition. It remains one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. During the Black Death, some people thought self-flagellation would earn God's mercy. Groups of flagellants roamed Europe, publicly whipping themselves in penance. They believed their suffering would end the plague, but it only spread more fear and panic. The Church eventually condemned the practice, but the damage was done. The Albigensian Crusade aimed to eliminate the Cathar heresy in southern France. This led to brutal massacres like the infamous siege of Béziers. When asked how to distinguish heretics from true believers, the response was, "Kill them all, God will know his own." Thousands were killed in this fanatical purge, religious intolerance at its worst. During the French Revolution, Robespierre tried to replace Christianity with the cult of the Supreme Being. They held grand festivals and ceremonies for this new state-sponsored religion. However, it didn't take long for the revolution to turn on Robespierre, leading to his downfall. The cult faded away as quickly as it rose, leaving behind a bizarre historical footnote. Finally, we have the Jonestown Massacre. In 1978, over 900 members of the People's Temple, led by Jim Jones, committed mass suicide. This tragedy, driven by Jones's charismatic and manipulative leadership, serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of blind faith. Truly heartbreaking. So there you have it, folks, 10 bizarre and brutal examples of what happens when religious zeal goes off the rails. From holy wars to witch hunts, human history is full of cautionary tales about the dangers of blind faith and unchecked power. But hey, at least we can learn from the mistakes of the past, right? Or are we doomed to repeat them? Let's hope it's the former, because frankly, I don't think the world can take another cat killing or witch burning. We've got enough problems as it is, and remember, always question everything, especially when it comes to matters of faith. Stay curious, my friends.